This exam application tutorial is on the topic of electrolysis. The question for 6 marks: explain how to carry out the electrolysis of brine, salt water, and how to test for the products made. So in other words, briefly describe the process of electrolysis, not in lots of detail, then state what is formed at the anode and cathode, those electrodes here. The anode is one attached to the positive terminal, cathode to the negative, when we electrolyze brine, when we break it down using a current, and explain how to test for hydrogen and chlorine, which are the two products made. So firstly, electrolysis is the breaking down of a compound using a direct current. That's a current that moves in one direction only, not back and forth like an alternating current. That wouldn't work. Now to briefly describe the setup, a power supply is connected to two electrodes. The positively charged electrode is called the anode, and the negatively charged electrode is called the cathode. These electrodes are placed in the brine, the salt water, and the current flows through the brine, breaking down sodium chloride. So that basically describes the process of electrolysis, the first bit. So explain how to carry out electrolysis. Now we need to say that hydrogen will form at the cathode. Hydrogen always forms at the cathode. No matter what you're breaking down for this module, you'll always get hydrogen at the cathode. So that's easy to remember. And now we can test for this by collecting the hydrogen in a test tube and inserting a lit splint, not a glowing one, a lit splint. And you'll get, or it will produce, a squeaky pop sound. You can write that. Chlorine will form at the anode, and we can test for chlorine or test for it using blue litmus paper, which will decolorize or bleach. In other words, it will lose its blue color. Now again, there's lots of points to make here, but the ones I would not sacrifice are these ones over here. Hydrogen forms at the cathode and how to perform the test, and chlorine formed at the anode and how to perform the test. You absolutely must write these. You could probably cut down on these sentences to describe the process of electrolysis. You wouldn't have to necessarily include all these steps. I've done it so you understand, but you could get rid of 2 of these steps.